Well, it's time once again for today's breakfast bite, and this morning I am joined by Revd Gareth Higgs. Hey Gareth, how you doing?
Hi, Nathan. Good morning, everybody. I'm doing really well, thanks. See you?
Yes, thank you. It's great to be here with you once again. Are you ready to bring us today's breakfast bite then?
Yeah, I am, gladly. Um, Years and years and years ago, thousands of years ago, in fact, somebody came to a crowd of people. There was a big kind of hullabaloo going on. Loads of people were attracted to this one person. It was Jesus, and the people on this person coming to the crowd caught somebody on the edge. They looked like they were sort of in the entourage, and they said, "Sir, excuse me, we want to see Jesus. We want to see Jesus." And it's a fascinating thing. I was just thinking about how people might see and encounter Jesus today. People perhaps that are coming from a background that isn't within the Christian faith. How do they meet Jesus today? And of course, my initial answer is there are lots of different possibilities to that, by the way. But my initial answer is it's through God's people, through the church, through Jesus' people. I mean, when I talk about the church, the people are not the institution, really. And it reminded me of a story. It's a really kind of old story, and I heard it years ago. And it's of a little boy who was sat in a one summer's day, sat in a parish church, an old parish church with stained glass windows all up the side. And he was looking up sort of at these windows and looking at the different colours and the different people that were depicted in them. And he turned to his mum and said, "Who are those people up there?" And she said, "Oh, they're the saints." And that was kind of like a good enough answer for him at the time. And he thought, "Okay, that's all right then." And then in a few months went by, and he was in his little Sunday school lesson, this boy, and the Sunday school teacher said, "Oh, who are the saints?" And the little boy remembered that morning, that sunny morning where he'd been looking at the stained glass windows, and he put his hand up and he said, "I know, I know." He said, "Saints are people who the sun shines through." And of course, playing on that word of sunshine and son, the Son of God, people who the sun shines through. And actually, I think the way people can see Jesus, sir, we want to see Jesus. The way people can see Jesus today, there are exceptions to this, but main way people can see Jesus today is through him shining through the actions, the attitudes, the service of ordinary people who follow him and love him and trust him. And often in our world, we are focused on self-promotion and, the kind of Instagram culture where we try and put out a really good picture of ourselves. And even the royal family have been caught photoshopping things to make sure the image is perfect recently. So we're all about putting like up a front to show how good things really are, self-promotion. And Jesus says that the way to success in the kingdom is by self-denial and by sacrifice. It's by giving up ourselves, by taking up our cross, by dying to self even, and allowing more and more of him to shine through, more and more of his life to shine through. He talks about a seed falling to the ground and dying, and it's there when the seed breaks open that life emerges in the horticultural world. And yeah, he's talking about his own death. He'll accomplish far more in his death than he's done up to this point when he says it in his earthly ministry. But it's a pattern for ordinary people too, that actually it's when we break sometimes, it's in our brokenness, in our imperfection, that gives space for God to work in us and shine through us. So I wonder, wherever you might be today, whatever you're going to be up to today, whether you're at work or at home or with friends, I don't know where you might be after listening to this. I wonder how you could let the sun shine through you. I wonder how you could be a person who serves and shares kindness, who gives a word of wisdom. How are you somebody that could let Jesus be seen in you? So that when somebody comes along and says, "Oh, I want to see Jesus," actually it's possible for other people to say, "Well, if you just look at him or if you just look at her, you'll get a good glimpse of what the life of Jesus is like."
Mm, that's really great, and I love that how that child analogy of the sun shining through the stained glass windows helps us to understand actually what it means to let Jesus shine through us. I guess it's
Yeah.
really allowing others to see Jesus rather than trying to make people see how good we are, how wonderful we
Yeah.
look.
Spot on. It's exactly right. Exactly right.
Well, thank you so much, Gareth. That's a great thing for us to think about, and I look forward to another breakfast bite next week.
Okay, sure. Take care.